Let's get it.
I got Joy with me tonight from the Joy Frequency. I found her on Instagram, uh, Reels. Like this reel popped up. You were telling this super creepy story about something watching you in your sleep, and I was like, oh, I gotta try and get a hold of her, and I was able to.
Yes. I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, no problem. It's gonna be. And then I watched some of your other videos, and I saw some other pretty creepy stuff too. So this is. This is it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna do. I do a lot of cryptid talk. Uh,
Yeah.
Ghost really freaked me out. So we'll see.
Hey, I get freaked out by them too, and I see them. So really, you know what? Nothing really prepares you.
I know. I saw that. You said you're a medium. Is that
Yes, yes.
is that
So I see dead people like in Sixth Sense, and it's literally been all my life. And it's a wild life, but I guess it's just my norm.
wow? Yeah. Is that like being a psychic? Is there a difference?
So how I've kind of come to understand it is I feel like psychic is more people who can like I guess kind of like tell the future kind of a thing. I mean, I know there's mixed I guess descriptions of it.
Mm.
I feel like mediums and psychics are separate, but a medium can also be psychic and a psychic can also be a medium. So it can kind of mix around
Right.
as well. But mediums are people who see spirits and talk to spirits and can communicate with them. And that's mostly what I do. I am like a psychic medium too, though. So I do readings and I help people, but I don't really like to claim like knowing what's going to happen because fate is always in our hands.
Mm.
Um, and so I just listen to whatever the spirits tell me, that person may be facing down the line. Yeah, it's a fun
Yeah.
time.
Wicked. Yeah. I met a psychic through the podcast, and before I talked to her, like I never really thought much about psychics, but she's definitely told me things like there's no way she should know any of this stuff. And she's been able to tell me things just by looking at
Yeah.
pictures. It's crazy. Like I'll show her a picture on Google Earth, and they're like she just tell me things she shouldn't
Mhm.
know, and now I'm a complete believer. So
Yeah. It,
I
it's
don't
pretty crazy.
yeah, there's no I don't think I could not do that. Definitely not. Definitely not the whole Sixth Sense thing. That's some oh man, freaks me out just thinking of it. She told me
Oh
that I
yeah.
have
It's definitely different.
oh I
She told
bet.
you that you have what?
She told me that I have a she said it was a spider-like entity in this room. Um
Huh.
yeah. So I sometimes I can like hear I don't know, maybe I'm just hearing things, but I hope it doesn't get I hope the energy doesn't get too crazy in here because we're talking about this stuff.
Yeah. It might spike a little bit just talking about it, but you actually have like a lady with you a lot, like a little bit of an older, slightly middle-aged lady who hangs out with you, especially on your left
What?
side.
What?
She's got your back. Yes.
Oh my
She's just
God.
she's just there to protect you.
You're gonna make me cry. Cut it out.
But I'm so she's just like, I've got his back. Like nothing's gonna mess with him. Like even if they try, like
That's crazy.
so
This
you're
is a
set. Like you don't need
this
to
is a
worry too much. She's
family.
gonna.
This is sorry. This is
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I bought this house from a family friend whose his mom had died um like in the house.
Yeah.
That oh man, that freaked me out.
Yeah. I mean, I would not be surprised if it was her. She definitely feels like she's got, I don't know, it's interesting. She feels the most focused on you out of like not just protecting, the house, but it's more like she feels like she definitely needs to protect you right now. Just in general with everything that you're doing, but just in particular, whatever you're doing right now and the things that you're facing right now.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I don't know what genders your kids are, but I feel like there's like a son of yours too that like she's definitely kind of got an eye on too. There's another boy in the house that she
Yeah,
just like feels extra protective of because like he just reminds her of one of her kids, something like that.
yeah. I have three boys. All of them are boys.
Oh wow.
But yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
You doing okay? I know, I feel like we had kind of an intense start here. Well,
Um,
she just says don't worry, so you're all good. No spider thing's gonna be messing with you today.
yeah. Oh, I did an episode on demons once in here in this room, and I just kept repeating names of demons over and over again. And then
Hmm.
ever since then, it's been like I don't know. Can definitely hear something like something moving around, playing with things.
Yeah. I do feel like sometimes when we talk about negative things, we can open like a little tear in the veil at times. So, we just gotta always make sure that we like, I will say put yourself in like a pink bubble, just think of it as like love and light. You're like, okay, I've got my little pink bubble or my little pink armor on. It can be whatever color you want. I just picture pink. And that just kind of helps to keep anything from, you know, trying to
Yeah,
intrude
definitely.
on your world.
Right. Yeah, I tried to sage once, but I don't know how good of a job I did.
Mhm.
I tried at least. But
Hey, I feel like intentions are the most important and like really like honing in on like
right.
knowing that it's done. I feel like it's a big thing. If you have faith, like just that whatever you did worked, that,
Yeah.
hey, if I'm setting the salt here and I know nobody can be around the salt, but if you're there and you're like, I hope the salt works, I don't really know, and I feel like something's coming,
Right.
there's a difference there. So,
Yeah.
intention's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, that's actually something I've learned through, interviewing all these people that I've talked to is it seems like intention is what is the key behind everything. So,
Yeah, I feel like there's so many different ways that people can do the same thing. So when somebody's like, "Well, you didn't open every door and you didn't do all this, so it didn't work," I just feel like that's
right.
not
But yeah, okay, perfect. Um
yeah. Woo!
I don't know where to start now. I think I had so that story that I heard you talk about had to do with something like some sort of entity being inside your
Mhm.
house. Um
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that same house you're in now or not, but I kind of knew like I had like a somewhat similar situation. Not definitely not as
Hmm.
bad as that. But so I kind of understood where you were coming from a little bit when I heard that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about it or not, but
Yes. No, I totally do. Um, so it's kind of interesting because I feel like especially in this field, people are very quick to say like everything is a demon. And I think that there are actually demons. And I think that there's also just like negative spirits that like want to pretend to be something that they're not. So I feel like when something's like in your face, really trying to scare you and convince you that it's a demon, I don't really know if it is. Because I feel like for me, true demons, they like to hide and isolate you. It's kind of like if I want to be, let's just, hypothetical, like let's say, hey, I want to possess you, Nick. I wouldn't want people to know what I'm doing
right,
until I kind of got my hooks in you. So when you're dealing with a true demon, they really want to isolate you. They really want to like get in your head and make you feel like you can't be helped. And that's what I experienced in that video. There was a whole backstory that I didn't really cover. I was just like, oh, let's just talk about the scary part of it. But there was somebody living at my parents' house that was wishing really, really bad things on people, including my parents. And when you kind of get in this headspace where you are just super negative and want to harm people, you start to attract negative things. And she ended up attracting an actual demon. Um, so when I went to visit one time, this thing came home with me,
mm,
unfortunately. And it really did. It really started to get in my head. I started to like feel isolated. It started messing with technology, but it would do stuff just to me and nobody else. So I started to get more and more isolated, more and more feeling like I'm crazy, and more feeling like I can't talk to people about it. And once I was like really in that spot of like, I'm just terrified, I can't sleep. I'm just like scared all the time. Like I'm scared, like things would just happen during the day. Like just things that never happen would just happen during the day. Like my phone just all of a sudden shutting off. Like all of a sudden every like light's just flickering and like it wasn't like a ghost just flickering lights. It was something that was truly trying to psychologically mess with me. You okay? So
Yeah.
you looking around. I was like, are we good? So one night after I was already very vulnerable, it tried to kind of just like nail the head on the nail the nail on the coffin for me by appearing in this. Actually, it's literally standing almost exactly where I am right now, and it like peeked around this little half wall I had and was like looking at me in bed. And
Mm,
it was like so tall, it had horns. It was so tall because it knew what was gonna like truly make me know what it was. And it kind of like tilted its head and just stared at me all night. And it would be during the day, it would be at night, it would be before I even fell asleep, it'd be when I woke up, it would be all the time. The minute my husband was out, it came out just to make me feel like even more like scared, paranoid, like alone, like helpless.
mm,
And I wasn't sure what it was because I'd never experienced a demon before. I was like, this could be anything, just pretending. But when I had my mentor, who's been helping me since I was 17 and like learning how to like turn things on and off and protect myself with everything I've experienced in my life, she was like, "Yeah, you have a demon in here." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And she's like, "Yeah, and it's been opening portals and it's letting in all these like little negative friends in, and it's really starting to like mess with you." So she taught me how to close those kinds of rips in the veil. And she taught me how to bind this thing and send it away where it could never come back.
oh wow.
So that was fun. Yeah, it was a wild time. That was my my first personal experience with that kind of a thing. I've only had one other, and I don't even know if it was necessarily a demon. I'm still on edge, but I did assist in an exorcism one time.
Mm.
And that was a wild time, but you know, not more things than just demons can get inside of people. So, yeah, that's my wild story for you. Are you good?
Yeah, no, I could not imagine something like that happening to me. Oh, I'd be so, I love horror, like horror movies and things like that, and but I don't, if that happened to me in real life, I don't know if I could take it. Like, that would
And
break me. That would probably break me. That's pretty bad.
that's kind of like what they're trying to do, though. And I think that that's kind of
Right,
like one of the scariest parts is like they're trying to break you. And they almost broke me. Like I was just like, I just felt helpless. Like I didn't know what to do. And
right,
I'm just glad I had somebody I could turn to because I can't imagine
right.
not. Like it'd probably be worse now over like years of feeding off of this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
well, I guess
yeah.
it's definitely good to know people because, like, in my case, if that was to happen, we'd be out of the house, and like, I know people, and I'd be like, you got to
Mhm.
come to my house tomorrow. Like, there's
Yeah.
something serious. Like that psychic I was telling you about, she's so good, and I would just bring her in here and just be like, do your thing.
Yes.
So, good thing you
I
knew somebody
love
that could
that.
teach you some things. So,
Yes. I'm very, very lucky.
and
I
what
got
was that like?
it's
Like
just
having to bind it or
so again, it kind of comes back a lot up to that intention and faith. And that was a big kind of like test in like me knowing that I can protect myself and me knowing that I can protect my home. Is like I always would be like, hey, you know, like somebody please like bind this. I work with like a lot of angels, so I'm like, hey, you guys, like please like get rid of this. Like I'm almost begging. I'm like, please. And she's like, when you deal with something this negative, are you okay? You keep looking over your shoulder.
yeah, no, I think my kid's in the kitchen.
I was like, we good? There's like when you deal with something so negative, they can see past that, like, oh, you throw some salt. Like imagine like in a scary movie or something, and they like would throw salt. You know,
Right,
like and when I say scary movie, I mean like the parody one, where they just throw
right.
some salt and it doesn't do anything. You have to really have that like knowing behind it. She told me, you know, You have to know it's done. Instead of saying, can you do this? Say, thank you for doing this because you know it's already done. So I would say like, thank you for binding this thing. Thank you for taking it into the light and then like transmuting it into whatever you guys do with it so that it
Mhm.
can't come back. And just knowing, like that's kind of the scary part after is just like sitting there and just knowing that it's done. Like not letting that, because once you start to let that fear creep back in of like, I don't think it's done. Oh my God, did I hear things? You start to invite it back in. And that can happen a
Right.
lot when people cleanse their homes. Is, they might not be cleansing wrong, but it's that kind of coming back and like, I don't think I did it right. I couldn't have done it right because I don't know what I'm doing. And like, I think I noticed something, or what if I, and then they start to feel like, oh, let me see if I can feel it. Is it still here? And then that's inviting it back in. And so that's what
Right.
like, people got to be a little bit careful about is you got to really know like, no, I did what I was supposed to. I know it's gone and it can't come back. And it can't.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's going back to
hmm
that the intent behind it. So
Yeah. It's a wild time.
yeah. So I get when 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 you're just like you go to the grocery store, you could just see ghosts or how does that work? Like
So no, let me. I got you. I'm open book, open book. So for me, I learned how to like turn it off. But before, like as a kid, I would see things, but they don't always. It takes energy for things to like show themselves, and they have to actually want to. You're not just gonna see some ghost that's like, all right, I'm just wandering around, unless it's like residual energy, which is like almost like a thumbprint or like a footprint left in the sand by something. It's not like an intelligent spirit. Sometimes you'll see those, but they have to actually want to show themselves to you. And they have to actually want to like communicate with you, whether that's to scare you, whether that's to get help, whether that's just to let you know that to let somebody else know that they're around. Um, so I don't always just see things unless I have it one turned on and two things actually want to come up, like spirits actually want to come up. Because sometimes like somebody's grandma does come up, but I also feel like it's an invasion of privacy and not my place to walk up to somebody and be like, "Oh my God, your dead grandma's here." Like I just feel like to me, that's kind of rude. You don't know if that person may be like grieving real hard about their grandma and they are not ready to talk about that. So I just feel like you got to be careful with that because some people aren't open to it or maybe they're not in a space to receive that. I usually deal with stuff that's like more in like after they go to the light. Some things don't go to the light and they hang out here. And so their intentions are not always like pure. So I'm not going to be like, hey, because if they haven't gone into, I guess, that angelic realm, um, because I don't know if they're just trying to terrorize that person, kind of a thing. Like there's nothing holding them accountable to any kind of truth. But I will see things. I see things every day. Sometimes I even just see things like driving down the road. Yeah. So it's definitely a wild time. Um, but there have been times that I did ask. I always ask before I tell somebody that I'm receiving a message or anything like that. I try to make sure that, it feels right and it's not just sometimes people kind of go off of ego of like, I want to show off that I can see their grandma, or I want some validation for my own gift. Like I feel like that should never be the fuel of why you're trying to help somebody. But there was a time at my first salon job, because I do hair like 10 years ago, that I was walking by and there was a man that kept saying, you need to tell this lady this. Um, and it was a coworker, and I was very hesitant because I didn't really talk publicly about it. I honestly didn't talk very publicly about any of this until after my whole ghost adventures experience. So I just went up and I kind of told her, "Hey, are you open? I feel like I might see a spirit around you. Are you open to possibly having a message?" And she said yes. And I told her about this guy I was seeing. I was like, he looks like this. He's kind of got a pompadour. He's super, super cool. He's kind of got like a greaser vibe to him. And he's got his wings on. He's right behind you. And it turned out it was the anniversary of her grandpa's death. And I was describing him to a T. And she was really struggling. And he just wanted her to know that he was there. And I know I didn't ask you earlier, but I felt like I was reading the room or with where we are right now. I wanted to address that really fast. Um, so yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience, and that's kind of what it's like seeing things, but on the other aspect, it's hard because sometimes things do know I see them. So they will try to come and be scary just to get my attention or just to
Yeah.
get a good laugh.
So like say see things just driving on the road. So if
Mhm.
sometimes there's like someone has an accident and they put flowers up on the side of the road. Have you ever seen anything like just
So
standing
I
there?
feel like I've never really seen something by flowers per se, but sometimes I'll see somebody like on a corner or kind of just like off the road. And I don't know what their story is. I don't know why they're there. I don't know
Right.
why they decided to show themselves. And it does usually throw me off because it's so fast.
Right.
And so I haven't really like pulled over and talked to one of them, kind of a thing. I'm not like, wow, that'd be a little wild. But I do sometimes wonder, and I feel like even though I do feel like it's my duty to help, and I feel like help the living and those who have passed, I feel like it's also not my duty to help every single thing I pass on the road. You
Right.
know, I know that they'll get the help that they need, and after you pass, that light is always an option. So nobody's ever like bound here and stuck and can never, cross over kind of a thing.
I think I saw another one of your videos where you had talked about how they, like the darker spirits or the entities, they kind of know what freaks you out and they'll take on the form.
Yep. Again, kind of going from that like angelic realm to things that are just here. They're kind of almost like on our where we are, but in just a different layer. So they aren't held accountable to tell the truth or even appear who they are. So, especially growing up, I would have several spirits that, like, let's say I watched it or something. I watched some scary movie. A lot of times, they would pretend to be those things just to freak me out. So, I'd be like laying in bed at like 10 years old, looking at Pennywise, like on the edge of my bed, like it was horrifying, and it's because those negative spirits, like they do feed off of fear. They really do. It's pretty much like Pennywise. Like he feeds off of that fear. And so they'll do what they can. Like that's why some people say that they experience demons or say that they might experience something that doesn't make sense, like a Slender Man looking guy. It's because they know what you're afraid of, unfortunately, and they will do their best. Not all of them, but some of them will do their best to try to freak you out the best that they can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense to me. That's pretty, I think I've had several ghost encounters, nothing like really serious, but
Mhm.
I think the first one I ever had was my grandparents' house is haunted, but I think we've always said it's by my grandfather's mom. So maybe it was her, but this was back when like the internet first came around. And my grandparents, they had a computer that had the internet, and we'd go across I lived across the street. And me and my cousins, if they stayed over, we would go over there and we'd play on the computer, but we would hear people like I can remember hearing someone running back and forth upstairs, but there was nobody there. That was like my
Yeah.
first real encounter with a spirit. Even though it wasn't like up front and personal, but I could definitely
Yeah.
remember that happening. Um, but when I was going to college, I lived up north. It was up north, northern New Hampshire. Um, and my uncle had co-signed on this house randomly with some dude, and that guy ended up dying. So he kind of took the house over, and
Mhm.
it was a half an hour away from where I was going to school. So I was staying there, for free or whatever. I didn't have to pay rent or anything like that. So I was staying there, but it was really run down and like it was really bad. And I would have parties there and stuff, and people would just randomly come up to me, like, and I wasn't telling anyone this was happening. And they would come up to me and they would be like, I would just had a conversation with so and so, and then but I turned the corner and he's upstairs the whole time. I have no idea who I was just talking to, and these people would have full conversation. So there was the upstairs and the
Really?
downstairs, and there was a stairwell and a
Yeah.
little hallway and two doors. that went into the living room, and they'd be at the top of the stairs, and they would always be upstairs when this was happening, and they would have a
Hmm.
conversation, a full conversation apparently, with somebody downstairs in the living room. So they weren't looking at them, but they could hear them, and this would happen to
Hmm.
multiple people all the time. Uh, and that I mean that was really it. And nobody ever saw anything. Um,
Hmm.
but we would hear a baby crying all the time in that house. And there was one room that just had like crazy vibes that no one ever went in. And uh,
They,
that was really it. And there was this little door, like window in the barn. And I eventually like went in there and I found out that there were two whole rooms that they had cut off from the house and they took the stairs out. But
what?
yeah, you would have never known these rooms were there. And I went and there was like
Wow.
one room and then the last room was just full of these glass bottles. And there were two chairs and a coffee table. Like somebody was doing something in there. But I always wondered why they cut those rooms off of the house. But that was really like the scariest thing that happened.
It's so interesting because I feel like different spirits like to do different things. Some of them like to move things. Some of them like it takes different amounts of energy to do each thing too, especially like if they're trying to get the attention of somebody who can't, kind
Right.
of see through the veil. Where, I feel like the audio, like the audible things are a little bit easier to do than like a whole body, manifestation of something. But
Right.
it's so interesting how they can still, I feel like it's almost like Beetlejuice, where they have to, try to do what they can with like where they're at and how they can manipulate energy. And it's always so cool to hear everybody's stories because I do feel like pretty much everybody has some kind of ability, but
Mm.
you just have to figure out what yours is. Like my mom could always hear things. I could always see things. When we hung out, we could both end up doing both, but like I feel like everybody has something different. Sometimes it's just going in and feeling the energy. Sometimes it's almost like you get like little photos in your head of like scenes that may have happened there. And it's always just so interesting how each one is kind of like tailored to us.
Yeah, I definitely, having been doing this for a little while, I definitely think I'm like empathic. That's
Hmm.
just because I've always been able to like feel people's feelings, and I
Hmm.
never really knew what that was until recently. So
Yeah, I feel like if you were to ever tap into, I feel like yours would have a lot to do with like hearing
it
too.
freaks me out so bad though.
I know, but again, it's like you don't have, just because you can doesn't mean that you need to.
Yeah, I mean, I mainly just I don't want to bring something home because of my kids, really.
I definitely understand that. If that ever happens, you can always message me because I had to learn the hard way how to keep that from happening.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah. When we were filming Ghost Adventures, things ended up coming back to my house because I knew I wasn't there to protect everybody. And so I had to figure out how to like put things around my house to keep it like safe at all times.
Like the TV show?
Yeah, I was on Ghost Adventures.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I didn't used to really talk about all this, but like October of 2024, so like a little over a year ago, my close friends know I see things. So she wanted me to go to the host of the show, Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum.
Mhm.
And so she just wanted to see what I would see. And I was not excited and it was horrible. And I ended up seeing something terrible there. And it like was so upsetting that like the spirits at the museum told me that this thing has been feeding off of fear for so long that it's going to hurt somebody. And I get all like shiver me timbers like thinking about it. When we were trying to leave, the spirits kept saying, "You need to tell somebody. You need to tell somebody." So I tried to tell a worker. I was like, "Hey, is there somebody I could talk about like something that I saw?" And she was like, "We don't really do that." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, is there someone here who can like cleanse me?" And she's like, "We don't really do that." And I was like, "Great." So we go outside and there's a security guard at like this desk and I was like, "Hey, is there anybody I can talk to about something I saw?" Because I just like the spirits keep telling me you have to tell me, you have to tell me, you have to tell somebody. And he's like, no, I don't think so. And I was like, okay, well, like, can somebody please cleanse me, please? Like, I'm begging you. Like, and he was like, I don't really think that we do that. And all I remember is I just got hit with like hysteria. I was like crying hysterically, and that's not really like me. I'm like actually hyperventilating me. They had to get me a chair. I could not calm down. Oh, like my heart's racing just think about it. Never really experienced anything like that. Even my friend who's known me for like 10 years, she's like, I've never seen you like that. I was like, it was horrible. And she was like, hey, do you want to go? And just then the spirits were like, if you don't tell somebody, first they were like, you have to tell somebody. If you do not, someone's going to get hurt and it'll be your fault. And so I'm like, nobody's listening to me. Someone's going to get hurt. It's all my conscience, like on the line. Like, oh my God, like,
Right.
what do I do? So he's actually not there all the time. And it is like 9:30 at night. Like we just finished the final tour. And all of a sudden, Zach and his like friend that he was just hanging out with that day just happened to be there that day and just like came around. And they didn't really plan on being there, I find out later on, which is just kind of wild. And he was like, hey, like, what's going on? I kind of was telling him, I'm like, there's something in there, like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, hey, would you be willing to go back in and show me? And like, that was the last tour. They're setting up for flashlight tours. All the lights are off. I just went through a 2.5 hour maze of a tour. I don't know where anything is. And that was something I saw near the beginning. And honestly, I didn't want to go back in. Like, I was not starstruck. I'll be honest, when I was like, I thought that guy was probably not going to be. He kind of seemed full of himself, but I must say, from my own
Yeah.
experience, because I only ever go off of my own experiences, he's actually super, super nice. Like we're cool. Um, so my best friend loves the show, and I was like, when would I ever get this experience? Like, when would she ever get this experience again? So I said yes. We went in. We started getting evidence. Like after walking in the door, things started happening. He actually told the crew that I was a magnet for this stuff. I don't really think that was a compliment. I was like, I don't, I don't really like what you're saying here, but okay. Um, so we went in. I saw the figure again at the end of the hallway. It turned out it was the same hallway I saw it the first time, and then it went into the Kevorkian office room, which is where we saw it. And then it actually appeared in this doorway and from the end of the hall before the office room. It appeared in this doorway and I was like, it's in there, but it's so dark you literally can't see in these rooms. Like with the door frame, like it's so dark until you walk into the room. And sure enough, it was the van room. And the I just kept saying this thing's gonna hurt somebody, it's gonna really hurt somebody. And he put down the little obelisk, which is like where ghosts can almost like type in. They can choose words from a selection of words and
Yeah.
they can like make it appear on the screen. And the minute he turned it on, it said assault violence. And he was freaking out. He's like, I don't normally get anything in here. He's like, what the heck is happening? And we just, every single thing I was saying for 45 minutes, we were getting physical evidence of whether it's the obelisk, the EMF meter, everything. And so he had me go in the office room to show him where this thing had like dropped to the floor next to me and was like letting me know that it was scaring guests in that room. And he's like, I'm gonna go check the obelisk. And he came back and he's like, can you give me a number? And I was like, why would I know a number? I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And just then this thing was like super tall. It was like in my ear, like breathing on my neck. And it was like, 11, like grossest voice of your life. And I told him, I was like, 11, 1, 1. And he goes, how did you know that? How did she know that? He started freaking out. He's like, hey, buddy. Like, he grabbed his friend, took him back over to the obelisk, came back. He's like, Joy, you have to see this. And so we went over there, and the obelisk had said 11. And so he was freaking out. All this other stuff happened. And then about a week later, I thought that was it. I was like, wow, it was wild. And I actually had a premonition before we went to the museum that we were going to go. We were going to meet him. We were going to investigate with him, and it wasn't going to be the only time. And sure enough, all three things came true. And yeah, so about a week later, I was picking up my kid from preschool, and I got a DM from Zach Bagans on Instagram, and I was like, what? And he was like, hey, that was crazy. I'm going over the video evidence and like, would you be willing to come out for the show? And I was like, sure. It was actually great. That thing that I saw was not there when we went, but he did get in Samuel Little's ashes and we did like communicate. Like I saw Samuel Little, who's like a notorious serial killer. He's horrible. Um, which is what they thought the guy I saw was. I don't think it was. but we did see him there and we were getting crazy evidence. And it even asked me to go in the basement. So if anybody watches it, no, I went in that basement. They cut so much out, like so much out. I was like, I went in that darn basement. They mapped out a figure behind me, like touching my back when I felt like I was getting touched exactly where I was. And like there was so much crazy stuff happening there, but it was definitely a wild experience that I never thought would happen to me. And after that, I was just like, well, I guess maybe I'm meant to do that. And here we are.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's crazy. So
Yeah.
he's not just making it all up.
I was shocked. I'll be honest. Like, I was like, they have to make up stuff. I was there, like in person. There was not a single thing, even like with my interview, I kind of thought, because I never had experience with like Hollywood or whatever. I was like, okay, is there things I'm supposed to talk about or not talk about? And they're like, no, you just talk to him. And I was like, are you sure? And like the minute, again, like that's when he told me I was a magnet, is they just started turning on their stuff, literally just turning on the equipment to go in. We hadn't even gone in, film crew's not even near us, and everything starts going off. And that's when he had just said like going to follow, like you're gonna follow me inside. And I see like things in the crack of the door. And once Billy turns on the obulus, it says follow me into death. And he's like, what does that mean, Joy? And they cut that part out. He's like, what does that mean, Joy? I was like, it just means that they're waiting for us. Like they were the best group of people, which is so funny because I feel like even I was hesitant. Like they kind of don't have like, the most amazing rep of being like all like these angels, but like truly everybody was so incredibly kind. Like I didn't expect Billy to be my favorite. I don't think Zach would be listening to this, so like he doesn't need to know. But Billy was my favorite. Like he was the nicest guy ever. He and I, it was just him, me, and Lauren in the basement. And it was just like awesome. Like everybody was so nice. And Zach was so nice to me. He's like, do you need some protein balls? And I was like, all right. Like we're like eating snacks. Like it was just awesome. So everybody
Right?
truly, I cannot speak higher of them, which is shocking because I don't know if I would have felt that way like before that experience. So
Yeah.
yeah, everybody's super awesome.
I used to watch that show a lot, but I haven't watched it like within the last couple of years, but I did watch
Mhm.
like every episode for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, they're awesome. I mean, again, I can only go off of my own experience. And when we were filming, there wasn't a single thing that they staged or like, told me to do or not to do, or like it was just I was standing there and all of a sudden things would just come through the Oculus. Or I was like, is somebody like, I don't know, typing it in? How is this happening right now? I was like, this is crazy. But yeah, everything, even like Billy falling with the XLS, like we would see these things and it was crazy. Like when we walked into this room, I saw things like jumping and almost like jumping to the ceiling and crawling out, and they caught that on the XLS camera. The things jumping to the ceiling and this crawling out.
Wow.
It was a wild time.
Really bet.
So they have all my I definitely think that they are super credible from my experience, but everybody has different experiences with different people. And I feel like that's one thing to always take in is like, you know, two different people can meet you and have two totally different views of you. And plus, there's
Right.
different people too that, may see somebody successful and not want them to be. So, yeah.
Huh.
Thanks for listening to my rambling story of that whole
No, that's
crazy
really cool.
experience.
You
Yeah,
don't
they're
really
all
like
super awesome.
get to hear a lot from people who actually go on to those kind of shows, you know? So that's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like truly everybody is so nice. Like everybody, I don't have any bad experiences with any of them. I'm even still friends with like some of the people, like the crew. Yeah, they're awesome.
I've only been on one ghost hunt, and I was
Uh-huh.
just like kind of in the background filming,
Hmm.
but that's really all I've been on.
That's so cool. Was it just like with friends or what was it with?
Uh,
Tell me
I
more.
did like this event at I put on this event at a state park because
Uh-huh.
there's like a haunted waterfall there. Like a
Ooh.
lot of people die swimming there. They like
Oh,
fall over the top of it. There's a swimming hole at the top of the waterfall, and then there's like
yeah.
this thin like like lip, and people try to
Yeah.
walk across the lip, and they fall
Oh
over
my
the
God.
waterfall. Yeah, it's like 300 feet, and they die, and there's been like 12 people have died there since
Oh
like
my God.
Um,
Yeah.
so I did a little video on TikTok about it, and the state
Yeah.
park contacted me, and I did like a little event at the park, and then I had a ghost hunting team come there to do something afterwards, and I wasn't gonna tag along with them, but I ended up doing it.
Yeah.
And there's like so there's the waterfall that's haunted, and then in the park itself, because the waterfall's kind of out of the park, in the
Hmm.
park there was a massacre from the French and Indian War.
Hmm.
You're in Arizona, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like this in Vermont, New England, back,
Yeah.
before the Revolutionary War, there was the French and Indian War, and
Yeah.
the French, and they had massacred a bunch of British soldiers at this place. And supposedly there was a headless soldier that would walk around, so we tried to like get it on camera or whatever.
Yeah.
And we didn't there was like some activity, but not really. But I did have this like thing, and I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and it ran up
Mhm.
and like charged me. I didn't like feel it run
Yeah.
through me or anything, but it charged me, and it was like just like this bright white figure. Like it was completely white. It
Yeah.
was super bright. I was the only one who saw it, and it just like ran
Yeah.
up on me. But
Ugh.
yeah,
That must have been a little scary.
it was at the time. Yeah.
I've had a ghost pirate chase me down the street one time, like in the middle of the day in New Orleans. So, you just never know what these these things are gonna do.
What was that about? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it was in New Orleans. There's like a very prominent pirate who used to pretty much run the town. His name was Jean Lafitte. He actually
Yeah.
helped in the Revolutionary War in the
Yeah.
Battle of New Orleans. I just love
Yep.
history, so I'm sorry, I don't get excited. Um, but he's still a pirate. He's not the best person, and he is known to have like a little curled mustache and like Captain Hook kind of like hat and everything. And I was just like walking with my family. And I just was kind of like tuning into everything, like, around me. I just could feel like a lot around me. And all of a sudden, I realized I was like far back from my family. Like they didn't even notice. I was probably at least like 15 feet away, if not like more. And I hear running behind me. And so I look around, I'm like, who the heck is running? And I see this freaking pirate running at me. And he had like this like creepy smile. Like you knew he was like messing with me. Like he knew he was, oh my gosh. And I literally ran back to my family. Like not even like funny, like, oh, I'm gonna like, I literally booked it in the middle of the day. People were probably like, what the hell just
What the
happened?
Yeah,
I
right?
booked it to my family. And then I could like still hear the boots running behind me. Like it was like literal like boots hitting the ground. And then right when I got to my family, I turned around and it was gone.
Do you think it was him, or do you think it was just like one of
I
his?
think it was him because I've experienced him a couple times there and it's almost like he recognizes me. Not like I'm super fancy and he should, but I mean, it's just like people. If you see someone who keeps seeing you every time,
Mhm.
they're probably going to recognize you. So yeah,
That'd be
it's
really cool if
wild.
you could like talk to him.
I mean, I'd be down, I think, as long as I'm not alone. If I have people with me, I'm usually okay. Like, I'm usually okay.
Do you do like well, I guess you're not necessarily a psychic, but do you do like sessions with people? I don't know what you'd call it.
Yeah. So, I always get a little, okay, I guess for me, again, everybody's different. I'm not trying to like hate on anybody, but I feel like if a medium says that they can connect to your loved ones, that's a red flag
Mm,
because people are people. Like, if I didn't want to talk to you today, could you make me? No.
right.
It's the same thing with spirits. You can't make anybody talk. Um, so I do readings on people. I usually start with card readings, and then when I do my card readings, just everything flows. It's just me connecting with your spirit guides, the people who are around you, your angels, whatever. And they're all have your best intention in mind, and just things just flow. So I do end up connecting with a lot of people through that. Or, if I'm going and I'm doing a house cleansing, or if like, we're talking and somebody's just like, hey, I want to say hi. I do sessions like that, but I'm never going to be like, oh yeah, I can connect to so and so. And like that's just not, I just can't. Like it's just not something that I can do. Because I don't think anybody can force everybody to talk.
Mm. I
So it
have
just
my
depends.
I have a
Go ahead.
co-host. I have a co-host
Uh-huh.
that comes on sometimes, and I mean I haven't figured it out because I can't pick anything up, but there's definitely
Yeah.
something wrong with him. Not like
Uh-huh.
with him, but he's definitely like cursed or something. He says he thinks his like ex-girlfriend cursed him at some point, but he
Uh-huh.
seems to like there's like weird stuff going on all the time with him. I don't know if you could
There,
see
I
something.
can definitely pick up a little bit of ick, but if you want to message me off of this, I'd be more than happy to help. But I just don't want to like put anybody else's stuff on blast just
Right,
because I
right.
can. You know what I mean? But if he wants some help or if you want to like, get us in touch, I'd be more than happy to see what I can do.
You can like feel it right now. Do you
Yeah.
know who he is? Have you seen him?
No.
No.
I have no idea who he is.
I don't know if you'd
I'm
like
sorry.
seen him on YouTube or something. I don't know.
Mm-mm. No. So I know I feel bad. I need to check out your page more. I was just like, I'm all over the place right now. So I kind of came into this blind. I came in trusting and blind, and I'm excited. I'm gonna have to like make sure to follow you on every social. So
Yeah.
because you're super cool and this has been super fun, and I really I love your vibe.
Yeah. I don't want to keep you too long. It's been an hour almost, but yeah, this was I like I said with that psychic that I met a while ago. I don't know, I can like feel it, right? And I can just like feel that you're not just making stuff up. I don't know why, like and like you said, sometimes like with the psychics and how just like, oh, I can read you and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Like I feel like most people are just making shit up all the time, but I can just feel the difference. Like I can't explain it.
Yeah. I think that that's part of your gift, and it's definitely got to do with what you should be doing,
And that thing
you
you
know?
pulled on me with Mr. Varney, that freaked me out. But
You also, if you don't mind me, like, is it okay if I share something else?
I don't know, is it gonna scare me?
No, this one's not scary, but I do like sense like the spirit of like a little boy with you too, like a very young boy with you.
That kind of freaks me out.
So,
I don't know what that would be.
I don't think it's anything bad. I don't know if it's something you kind of picked up along the way or, maybe like a kid you could have had kind of a thing, but it just feels like there's just like it's not bad at all, but I think that he just kind of feels connected to you or comfort with you. But I don't think he's not trying to freak you out or anything. Are you okay?
Yeah, I was just thinking, trying to think of that. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't-
And it's kind of interesting too because you don't always know. It's so fun for me because like when I do readings, sorry to just ramble. I'm just enjoying talking to you. But sometimes when I do readings, sometimes things like don't make sense. And then I have somebody that it's been like 7 months and they're still like, this thing all of a sudden like happened and like, oh my gosh. And like, yeah. So sometimes it's things that you need to hear now so that they make sense or help you through whatever you're going to face later on. So yeah,
Makes
it's
sense,
kind
man.
of cool.
But I mean, I don't know what else to really talk about, um, without getting
Yeah.
into a lot of other things.
If you ever want to do this again, you know how to reach me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would kind of just like to see if you could pick anything up from my co-host.
And like
I
it kind of sounds like it might be fun to do it with both of you guys and you guys can always pick my brain. Like I'm not like
Weird.
intimidated. It's not
Yeah,
like you're
he's
gonna ask
definitely
me a question,
weird.
I'm like, how dare you? I feel like he's definitely would ask a lot.
Yeah, he's kind of weird, but
That's
um,
okay.
it is what it is. He's a nice guy. He's definitely kind of weird though.
Hey, that happens. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we're all a little weird. I mean, here we are talking about ghosts. So, you know
Right.
what? I think we're killing it.
Yeah. Um, Trying to think if I can think of anything really quick. I mean, you had mentioned something about finding out the hard way. I feel like that might be a little, we could probably save that for another time maybe, but
Yeah,
I am
it's
interested to hear about
definitely
that.
yeah. We should definitely do that. That one's kind of a longie too. So we should definitely cover that next time. And that might be a good kind of thing to start with the next one too. So whatever you're comfortable with, I'm just here.
Perfect. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Um, but yeah. if you want to share your Instagram page or TikTok, or if you have anything else.
Yeah. So I do have an Instagram, I have a TikTok, and then I do have like a little YouTube. It's something that I've been kind of like wanting to do, but like I have one video on there and it was something I didn't expect to necessarily like do in the moment. So the lighting's horrible, but I brought back a stick from a cemetery in New Orleans. And with it, I brought three people from the Civil War with me. So we investigated and we got some crazy stuff. So that was pretty cool. But everything is under the joy frequency. But something easy that you can type in that you'll always find me is Ziggaty. It's Ziggity. It's something I made when I was 11. So it's been like I used to stream on Twitch. So it was like my Twitch channel, like that. It's like that one thing that nobody else had. So you can always type it in, you'll find me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Twitch. Isn't that like, I don't even know what that is really. Something to do with games, right?
Yeah, I used to stream video games all the time back when I was cool
That's
before
awesome though.
kids. Yeah, so I used to play video games all the time. I mean, I still do, but I don't really stream anymore. Every once in a while. But yeah, so I have a TikTok, Instagram, my YouTube. I don't post as much, but I plan to post like longer videos. But I am currently doing this like Haunted US series where I'm trying to hit like every state and like cover like the most famous cryptids. So I might need
Yeah.
your help there because I'm not as like well versed in cryptids. But the paranormal activity and haunted places of those states as well. So it's been pretty fun. Yeah,
Yeah, that's really cool. I saw that
thank
actually.
you.
I was on earlier and I saw you about mermaids in Connecticut or something.
Yeah, there's been some crazy ones that I was not expecting, and I was like, all right, this kind of sounds. I'm always down for a good mermaid tale because I just like a
Hmm.
part of me is like, there's got to be a mermaid, right? There's got to be something that somewhat inspired these mermaids, like you know.
I think there probably is.
I think there probably is too. Loch Ness Monster, I totally believe in. So I don't know if he's still alive, but I think he was.
I actually, we have a
Huh?
sorry, just real quick. We
No,
have a lake
tell me.
monster here in Vermont called Champ and Lake Champlain. It's this big lake, Lake Champlain.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes, champ.
yeah, Champ. And
I think that's so
I
cool. Have
had,
you seen him?
I got a, what? Have I
Have you
seen
seen
it?
him? No.
No, no, no,
All
no.
right.
I haven't. But I did get some good video from someone. It was like this family was on vacation and they're not that it matters at all, but they're deaf. So it I don't I couldn't really talk to them, but I did
Yeah.
kind of correspond back and forth really quick
Uh-huh.
through email with them, and they I think they really saw it.
Really? You should
Yeah,
send
and
me that
they
video.
got it on film too. Like
I want to
you can't
see.
really see much, but it's like a
Yeah.
wave, but there's definitely something there, and it's not acting like a wave. I think it's some of the best champ footage
That's
out there.
so cool. I'm gonna sound so so lame, but I love dinosaurs. So like I just like I'm like if there's still a plesiosaur out there, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I definitely
So
think
here,
it's some sort of like giant turtle. I think I'm on the giant turtle.
Oh, giant turtle. All right. I like
Yeah.
to think maybe a marine reptile, so same thing, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, that's
Fun.
cool. Our
Well,
YouTube's
it
not
was
that
so
big
good.
either,
Yeah.
so I hear what you're talking about with YouTube, but well definitely I haven't checked out your TikTok, but I definitely checked out your Instagram, so
Yeah. My TikTok's a little bit more than my Instagram is. It's fun on there. I
oh
know I
yeah.
need to give you a freaking follow on TikTok. I'm sorry I'm slacking.
No, it's fine. But yeah, we'll definitely get this out there and probably
Yeah.
like Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday or something like that.
Take your time. I know it's a lot to edit. I don't know how you do it. It takes me so long to edit anything. So thank you so much for inviting me. And it was so good like getting to chat with you. Like this is awesome.
Oh yeah, no. Actually, thanks for I didn't think this was gonna happen when we planned it earlier. And usually
Yeah.
when people are like, "Oh, let's do it in like a couple weeks," it's like oh, this isn't gonna happen. But I forgot actually, I forgot all about it until you emailed me to
You know,
send me a message today.
I was like, I haven't heard from him, and I was like, maybe I'll just message him to make sure. I'm like, maybe he forgot. I don't know what happened. I was like, it happens though. Like, I know it's kind of far out there. It's just hard with kids. You know, I
Oh
know you
yeah,
know. I don't
yeah,
know how
oh
you make time.
definitely.
I think you're crushing it.
Thanks. Yeah,
Well, thank you
definitely.
so much again. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, you
Thanks
too.
for staying up so late.
No problem. I appreciate you coming on. So
Well, I will see you later. I'm sure. We'll plan another day.
perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That sounds like a good idea.
Bye.
All right. See you later. Have a good night. All right, everyone. My mind's been blown. I don't know what to tell you. That started off like I don't even know. That was crazy. The way that the I definitely took me by surprise to say the least. Um, I'm almost speechless. I don't know what to say. But I will say that I've always thought, and I'm sure a lot of people have this same exact thought, right? That psychics, mediums, they're not real. It's all a big grift. It's all about the money, ripping people off. But I would have to say that after dealing with the psychic I know in New Hampshire, and now her, Joy, I would have to say that people have the gift. The gift is there, and people have it. No doubt in my mind. And let you know, people just say things like we know this is part of the game, right? They say this stuff because usually somebody's got some sort of connection to something they're gonna say, so it always works out like that. But then when she talked about this lady, this older lady, kind of watching over us, right? I don't even want to really talk about it. But I will say that since the day we moved into this house, I have believed that Mr. Varney is here watching over us, protecting us, me and my entire family, just from whatever, just she's just there. And I have believed this, and I was incredibly surprised to hear her mention anything on the lines of that. Like I said, I don't really know what to say. Like I am speechless. However, I will say that there are definitely people out there who have the gift, and I think that, you know, this is one of them. Joy is one of those people. So I don't know what you think. Let me know. Comments, leave a review, leave a rating, leave a review. Those are important. So if you enjoyed this episode, then please feel free, take 5 seconds, leave a review. It really it doesn't take very long, 5 seconds, but it helps us a whole lot. Leaving ratings and reviews, they really do help. It's like the backbone behind any sort of uh, you know, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever page, right? These ratings and reviews helps other people find your stuff. The more ratings and reviews you have, the more likely you are to be found, the more likely you are to be picked up by the algorithm and then shared throughout, whatever medium you're on, whatever platform you're on. Anyway, that's enough about it. I hate talking about ratings and reviews. I just want to throw that out there. And I've skipped it the last few episodes because I really don't like to talk about leaving ratings and reviews. I listen to a lot of podcasts throughout the day, and I I skip over that stuff in my shows that I listen to. Be, the other shows that I listen to because I just like we all know, if you like the show, you'll leave a rating and review. But I gotta say it too. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, please leave a rating and review. We greatly appreciate it. We also greatly appreciate having Joy on tonight to talk about her experiences, which were great. I mean, she's got all sorts of experiences going all the way back to her childhood. She had briefly mentioned some of them that were just um, literally scared the crap out of me when I'm sitting here. I don't know if you guys noticed. I don't know if the camera picked me up at all or not, but I was like, felt the hair on the back of my neck stick up when she had mentioned the thing about it. The spirit that looked like it watching her at the end of her bed. Like that's so scary. Um, Not to mention all the other stuff she talked about. She's a great guest. I really do want to have her back on. And I really do want to have her uh kind of take a look at Christian and see if she can see anything, you know. I'm gonna let him know. I'll let him know right now that I talked about him. I even thought about actually having him on this episode, but I didn't even reach out to him. It's too late. I didn't know what he was doing today. Um, like I said, I forgot this whole thing was gonna happen, so it was at the last minute. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. The Joy Frequency. If you want to follow her, Instagram, TikTok seems to be where it's at for her. Um, I guess she's got a little bit of a YouTube, not really. Kind of, I don't have a huge YouTube presence either. But if you want to go ahead and follow her on YouTube, I'm sure that would definitely help. Other than that, I mean, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. I know I definitely did. Again, once again, the Joy Frequency. Go ahead and follow because Joy definitely sounds almost canon to me.